Hello, it's Mark. Welcome to Scotch Sunday. Today we're going to do another whiskey review, and today we have Glendronach Portwood. This is, I've done several Glendronachs. I used to really love Glendronach. Kind of soured on it lately, just I think the ABV and stuff. So it's not what it once was for me, but anyway. Okay, so Glendronach is a Highland, and so we even got our little Highland glass today. Highland single malt Scotch. They were founded in 1826. They did not release single malts until 1968. They were closed from 96 to 2002. In 2015, they were one of the last, ooh, wow, we got a heavy pour today. They were one of the last coal-firing heat-sourced that used the heat source to dry the malt, but they had to switch over to gas. In 2008, they were purchased by the BenRiach Group. In 2016, they were purchased by Brown-Forman, and maybe that's why I'm souring on them. And along with, they're in the group together with BenRiach and Glenglassaugh. James Oloroso marketed the Scotch in the red light district of Aberdeen. Might have been one of the first to do finishes. He introduced his some people, I hear different things. Glendronach or Glenmorangie was first, whoever was first, I don't really know, but Glendronach may have been. They introduced James Oloroso introduced his whiskey to ladies of the night, who introduced it to their customers. Their current distiller is Rachel Berry. And she does all three, BenRiach, Glenglassaugh, and Glendronach. This was actually one of hers. You can see her name on there. I have several that are still a lot of Billy Walker Glendronachs. Billy Walker, I think my peated, and then I have a lot of the Sauternes and tawny port finish and stuff like that that are Billy Walkers. And he's now with Glenallachie. So they have 4 stills, 2 wash, 2 spirit. They produce about 350,000 gallons of whiskey a year. And what else can I tell you? That's probably about all. So, okay. I heard there's changes coming to Glendronach. So I don't know if they're going to maintain their traditionally, they do not add color. They don't chill filter. Whether that's changing or not, I don't know. We'll see. But right now, as far as I know, they don't use either. So, all right, there you go. That's the color. This is no age statement. That was a heavy pour. Wow. Okay. And this is 46% ABV. Did I roll? I'm going to roll it. I can't even roll that. That's too much in there to roll. Whew. Okay. I probably won't finish this. Okay, so 17, James Oloroso, 1780 to 1849, pioneer and founder of the Glendronach Distillery, Aberdeenshire, matured and bottled by the proprietors. Enriched by a second maturation in the finest port pipes from the Douro Valley in Portugal. 46% ABV. Portwood. Oh, wow. That's nice to read. Founded in 1826 by James Oloroso in the Valley of Forg with the East Highland Hills, the Glendronach claims its place among Scotland's very finest licensed distilleries. The Glendronach Portwood is inspired by historical imports of Casks port pipes into Scotland during the 19th century. We have selected some of the finest port pipes to house the Glendronach for a second maturation period to create a fruit-filled expression with layers of ripe berries rolling into the signature long lingering finish. Non-chill filtered. Okay, it is still really non-chill filtered. Oh, 46%. Yeah, non-chill filtered. I don't think they add color. So, deep in the Highland Hills, the Glendronach Distillery has been crafting rich, full-bodied, single malt Scotch whiskey since 1826. Our founder, James Alderrice, built his distillery in the rural valley of the Forg in Aberdeenshire and named it Glendronach, meaning Valley of the Brambles in Scots Gaelic. Here he discovered the rich depths of sherry cask maturation. The Glendronach Distillery has become renowned for its signature style of whiskey matured in the finest PX and Oloroso sherry casks. Okay, so kind of like the new, well, that doesn't finish in port. I was going to say the new 15 is PX and Oloroso, but yeah, this is finished in port, so it's different. The Glendronach Portwood is inspired by historical imports, and I read all that. No, I didn't. And historical imports of cask port into Scotland during the 19th century. During the 1800s, port was de rigueur, and many of the finest port pipes would travel from Portugal down the Douro River, destined for the wine cellars of Scotland's gentry. While its many years have passed, Portugal's majestic Douro Valley is still renowned for its exceptional port. We have selected some of the finest port pipes to enrich Glendronach for a second maturation period. Our master blender has expertly combined the whiskey from these port pipes to create a fruit-filled expression with layers of ripe berries rolling into signature long, lingering finish. Now, port was originally one of my favorite finishes, particularly the Balvenie. But then I think I was ruined because Aaron, I didn't care for their port finish, but I do tend to like port finishes. Bunnahabhain port finish, oh my God, that's like freaking unbelievable. So I traditionally have like Glendronach, so I have high expectations for this. That's the problem with high expectations. You have high expectations, nothing ever seems to meet it. You have low expectations, they always seem to exceed it. That's the way I am with movies anyway. So that's why I was like, oh, that sucky movie, that wasn't so bad. And then great movie, oh, that wasn't that good. But yeah, it gets ruined for me. So, okay. Oaky. All kinds of fruit. I get berries, I get citrus, dark fruit, red fruit, citrus. It's all in there with some oak. A little bit of chocolate. Am I supposed to get that? Does it say that? It says honeysuckle, sandalwood, and ginger, cherry blossom, strawberry. Okay, yeah. Cherry blossom, honeysuckle, and sandalwood and ginger. Okay. Definitely, I think that's the thing with Glendronach. I always get the oak with Glendronach. The oak always comes through. So if I were to name these fruits, red berries, raisins, and citrus, with some oak, a little bit of chocolate. Okay. Okay. Spicy. Bitter orange. Chocolate. Ginger. What am I supposed to get? Layers rich in fruits, blackberry, roasted apple, crumble, which I've never had apple crumble, so I don't know. Freshly baked gingerbread, yeah, maybe. Developed into baked orange and black cherry back note. I'm getting more of the malt on the back note. Bitter orange, that ginger is there. I still get all kinds of fruit, red fruit. Oaky, for sure. That's very good. Ginger, spice on the finish. Bitter orange. Sweet cherries. I think maybe plums. Almost unripe plums. Say anything about plums? Because that's what I'm getting. No, I'm not getting blackberries. I'm getting plums. I wouldn't say gingerbread. I would just say ginger and bitter orange. It says baked orange. No, it's not. That's not the sweetness in there. The sweetness is more like cherry sweet. Like, yeah. Okay, I am really not sure about this one. This is either better than I think or worse than I think, which, again, because I had high expectations, it kind of screws things up. But it's not bad at all. Still orange peel, bitter orange peel. Red fruit. Citrus, yeah. Oak, chocolate, for sure. There's definitely chocolate in there. Pretty good. This isn't going to blow me away. Does it belong on my shelf? I'm not going to cry if it's not. It's pretty good. It's interesting. Spicy, gingery finish. Definitely got a lot of ginger. That kind of like turns me off. I'm not a huge ginger fan. I'd rather have the pepper. Okay. Yeah, I don't know where to go with this. We'll say 7, because I definitely like it better than, say, the 12. But I probably like the 15 and 18 better. So, all right. Subscribe, and we'll see you next time.